Welcome to All in All.
Hi there.
Today, we're embarking on what I think is a really fascinating deep dive. We're looking into the life, the legacy of someone often seen as, well, maybe the quiet Beatle.
Yeah, the one who just kept the beat.
Exactly, Ringo Starr. But our mission today is to really unpack how Richard Starkey, this working-class Liverpool kid, became so much more than that perception.
Definitely. How he became such a pivotal and frankly beloved figure.
Right. His mark goes way beyond just the drum kit. We're going to explore his origins, the significance of what he actually did, the impact.
His evolution over time and, the relevance of his whole approach, really, to art, to life.
It's going to be quite the journey.
It really is. This deep dive, we're aiming to uncover some surprising insights, I think, into his unique contributions.
Things people might not expect.
Exactly. Peeling back those layers of assumption, because his impact, it's vast. From shaping the Beatles' sound in ways people might underestimate, to his adventures in film, TV, even his philanthropy, which is still ongoing.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
It's a look into, well, a genuine cultural phenomenon. A man whose maybe subtle genius and just warmth.
Yeah, that warmth.
It quietly shaped an era, and honestly, it still resonates today. The making of Ringo, origins and early days.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. Liverpool. Richard Starkey's humble origins. That gritty post-war city must have shaped him profoundly.
Oh, absolutely.
That was his first connection to music. It wasn't exactly a privileged start, was it?
No, far from it. Richard Starkey, as he was born, came from a really humble background, and his musical journey, it started in the most basic ways imaginable, really.
Like how basic?
Well, a crucial detail for something that really defines his drumming. Later, he was born left-handed.
Ah, okay. That's important.
Very. And his first fascination with drums, it began with, get this, a $3 bass drum.
$3? Well,
yeah. And his drumsticks. Literally firewood. He even made a kit out of tin cans.
Tin cans. That's incredible resourcefulness.
Isn't it? This wasn't a kid with easy access to instruments or lessons. It says so much about his drive, his innate passion.
Oh, boy.
It wasn't until 1957, when he was about 17, that his stepdad finally got him a used drum kit. Kind of a mixed and match set, but, it was a real kit.
A huge step up from tin cans, I imagine.
Definitely.
So that origin story. A $3 drum, firewood, tin cans. How do you think that shaped his actual approach to playing? Did it foster something more raw, more instinctive compared to formal training?
I think absolutely. The lack of formal training, relying on just these basic improvised tools, it meant his approach was entirely raw. It was instinctive, deeply personal.
No rule book.
Exactly. No textbook technique. Just this natural feel for rhythm, a pure passion for just making noise, And that innocent and emotional quality people talk about, that's where it comes from. It was heartfelt, direct, completely without pretension. He wasn't trying to show off technically. He was just playing, serving the song from pure instinct. He even talked about his first band, the Eddie Clayton Skiffle Group.
Ah, Skiffle. That was huge then, right?
Huge, lively, kind of DIY folk music, washboards, tea-chest basses. Right. And he described playing with them like an express train. They'd count in 1, 2, 3, 4, and the speed would just accelerate. Yeah. People on the dance floor were apparently dropping like flies, trying to keep up. It just shows that raw energy, that unpolished enthusiasm of his early days.
That's a fantastic image. An accelerating skiffle band. So from there, he makes the jump, becomes a full-time musician. Tell us about that. And of course, Ringo Starr. Where did the name come from?
Well, by 1960, he makes the big decision, quits his factory job.
Takes the plunge.
Totally. And joins Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. This was a big deal locally. Rory Storm's band was really popular on the Liverpool circuit, known for being flamboyant, energetic.
Rivals to the Beatles early on.
In terms of local popularity back then, yeah, definitely. They were one of the top bands. And it's during this time, Richard Starkey becomes Ringo Starr.
Okay, the name.
It wasn't random. He was really into American cowboys. Westerns were massive in Britain then.
The Ringo part. Makes sense.
Exactly. Evokes Wild West. And Starr. It was partly a nod to his drum solos, which he called Star Time.
Star Time. Right.
And it just fit that trend of catchy stage names in skiffle and rock and roll. Plus, this period with Rory Storm was crucial because they were playing the same clubs, sometimes on the same bill, as another Liverpool band.
The Beatles.
The Beatles. And those encounters, seemingly casual then, set the stage for, well, a massive shift.
And what a shift. Let's unpack that moment. Ringo actually joins the Beatles. It wasn't smooth sailing, was it? Pete Best had a lot of fans.
No, not smooth at all. Far from simple. Ringo had occasionally sat in for Pete Best at the Cavern Club, if Pete was sick or something.
Right.
But the Beatles already had this huge local following. They played the Cavern something like 292 times. An insane number. Wow.
So when their manager, Brian Epstein, decided to ask Ringo to join permanently in August '62, it was controversial. Big time.
You can imagine.
The pressure was instant. Just 3 days after he joined, Granada TV filmed them playing live at lunchtime. And in that old footage, you can literally hear people shouting,
"We want Pete."
Exactly. "We want Pete." It wasn't just a few people. It showed the real strength of feeling the challenge Ringo was walking into, replacing someone popular in an established band.
He had to win them over.
Totally. Not just the band, but the fans, too.
That is immense pressure. How did he handle that? Joining this band right on the edge of, well, everything, with that kind of public feeling. And what was his biggest contribution right then, maybe beyond just the drumming?
It really says a lot about him, doesn't it? His character, his humility, that sort of natural likability.
Yeah.
He joined a band that was already great. He said himself he watched them and thought they were really good, even in those days.
But years later, in '76, he gave this really humble assessment. He said his biggest contribution was simply the fact that they needed me.
Wow. That's humble.
Isn't it? He felt his arrival just let the band take off. That he just fell into place and fit in with them perfectly.
And his personality.
Crucial. That humility, his easygoing nature, it made the whole band seem more likable, more accessible.
Less intimidating, maybe?
Perhaps. If you look at old photos with Pete Best, he had more of a maybe brooding look.
Right.
Ringo brought this warmth, this cheeky grin. He was approachable, the everyman Beatle. He humanized them as they were becoming these huge stars.
So it wasn't just the drums. It was him.
His presence, his demeanor, it was key in shaping their public image, making them so universally loved. He was kind of the final piece, the one that made the whole dynamic work for everyone worldwide. 2, the unmistakable beat, Ringo's drumming legacy. Okay, so moving from his origins and how his personality clicked, let's really get into the drumming itself, the artistry. Despite no formal training, his playing is always described as, well, he said it earlier,
innocent and emotional. Heartfelt.
Yeah.
Not pretentious.
Exactly. And what's fascinating, maybe revolutionary for the time, was his philosophy. He played parts that perfectly served the song. Always.
Not showing off.
Never. He deliberately avoided flashy fills during vocals. He had this real less is more approach during the verses.
But when he did fills, they counted.
Oh, absolutely. Really impactful, often using things like double stops at very brisk tempos. You hear that clearly on tracks like Help or Ticket to Ride.
That less is more thing. It feels counterintuitive for rock drumming back then, doesn't it? When you expect big solos. But his restraint is maybe why his parts are so memorable. They just belong to the song.
That's it, exactly. It was revolutionary. Drummers were trying to be flashy. Ringo's approach was this act of humility, almost, musical taste. He wasn't playing for himself. He was playing for the song.
Right.
And because of that restraint, his parts became inseparable from the melody, the lyrics. You don't always consciously notice the brilliance, but it's holding everything together. It's in the song's DNA.
Can you give us some deep examples, like Ticket to Ride?
Ticket to Ride. Perfect example. That driving rhythm. It has that distinctive little hitch or bump.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
That's not a mistake. It's a direct result of him being left-handed playing a right-handed kit. He leads with his left hand on those right-handed toms. It naturally creates these tiny, almost off-kilter timing things, that unique push-pull groove, instantly recognizable. Iconic.
Wow. So his physicality literally created the sound?
Pretty much. It's why it's so hard to replicate perfectly. Another great one is In My Life.
Beautiful song.
Isn't it? It has those 16-bar verses, right? Divided into A and B sections.
Okay.
What Ringo does so cleverly is play a different drum part for each section. It's subtle, but it creates this rhythmic contrast that supports the song's structure, its emotional journey, perfectly, without ever stepping on the melody or the words.
Just weaving it in.
Exactly. His parts are embedded, inseparable, elevating the whole thing.
It's those subtle things. So beyond that hitch in Ticket to Ride, how else did being left-handed on a right-handed kit shape his sound? And did it actually influence other drummers, the technique itself?
Well, That crossover style, as people call it, was fundamental. Because his left hand leads naturally on certain moves across the right-handed tit, it created those timing nuances, that inimitable groove, his signature swing.
That feel.
That feel, yeah. You hear it in things like the snatch hi-hat sound on Rain.
Which he said was his favorite track to drum on, right?
He did! And that specific, almost clipped hi-hat sound, it comes from his left hand closing the hi-hat at a slightly different rhythmic point because of the right-handed setup. It's unique.
Amazing detail. And the influence on technique.
Huge. Ringo was one of the very first drummers to widely adopt the matched grip.
Instead of the traditional grip.
Exactly. For years, traditional grip holding one stick like a pen was standard, especially from jazz and marching. Ringo saw the power and efficiency of matched grip holding both sticks the same way, like shaking hands.
Better for rock.
Definitely better for rock power, and also easier for playing other percussion, which he did a lot of. And because millions saw him doing it with the Beatles, it brought matched grip right into the mainstream.
So he helped change how drummers played.
He really did. It had this long-term impact, making matched grip pretty much the standard in rock and pop today.
That's massive. But he wasn't just the drum kit, was he? He was the percussion guy for everything.
Oh, absolutely. He was the primary percussionist on pretty much all Beatles tracks, showed incredible musicality, willingness to experiment.
What kind of things?
Everything. Maracas, tambourines constantly adding drive and shimmer, bongos, congas for different flavors. He even played timpani on every little thing.
Timpani? Like orchestral drums?
Yep, a rock drummer playing timpani. And beyond instruments, he used unconventional stuff like
backs of chairs.
You got it. Famously on And I Love Her, creating these unique rhythmic textures.
And that's thinking outside the box.
Totally. This multi-instrumental approach to rhythm, it was groundbreaking for a rock drummer then. It enriched their sound massively, allowed for all these different textures and moods. He really understood how sound worked in a song, pushing the boundaries of the rhythm section. And that adaptability, that willingness to explore, carried right on after the Beatles. 3. Beyond the band. Ringo's post-Beatles evolution.
So Beatles break up, 1970. He's laid down the beat for arguably the biggest band ever. What's next for Ringo? Did he jump straight into solo work?
He absolutely wasted no time. Straight away, he established this really successful solo career, proved he had his own artistry, his own appeal.
What were some of the early hits?
Well, It Don't Come Easy in '71, that was a big U.S. top 10 hit. Really soulful, co-written with George Harrison.
Ah, nice collaboration.
Yeah. Then he had 2 massive #1s in the U.S., Photograph in '73, another one with George.
Great song.
And You're 16 in '74, which is fun. Paul McCartney's actually playing kazoo on that one.
Kazoo, love it.
And in the UK, his biggest was Back Off Boogaloo in '72, peaked at #2. Really catchy rockabilly vibe.
So immediate success.
Pretty much. And the album that really cemented it was Ringo in 1973. Big hit commercially and critically. Top 10 both sides of the Atlantic.
And that's the one with all the other Beatles on it, right?
Yeah, that's the one. John, Paul, and George all contributed. A huge deal for fans, obviously.
Must have been.
And Ringo sings I'm the Greatest on it, which John Lennon wrote specifically for him. Features John, George, Billy Preston. Just a stellar lineup. It really showed Ringo as a force in his own right.
Yeah, definitely established him outside the Beatles' shadow very quickly.
Yeah.
And I remember reading about one of his really early solo albums that was quite different, a bit unexpected for a Beatle back then.
You're probably thinking of Boku Blues.
That's it, the country album.
Exactly. Released in 1970, the same year they broke up. He went to Nashville.
Bold move back then.
Very bold. It was a pure country and roots record.
Yeah.
Produced by the legendary pedal steel player Pete Drake. Used all the top Nashville session guys.
Why country?
It showed his eclectic taste, his respect for American roots music. And honestly, it was pretty groundbreaking for a major rock star to embrace country so openly back then. He was kind of saying, hey, this music is cool, way before country rock became a big thing.
Yeah, paving the way a bit.
It really showed his versatility right from the start. And that versatility, it wasn't just in music, was it? He really branched out.
He certainly did. Film and TV became a big part of his life too, didn't they? Beyond just the Beatles movies, he became this familiar face, even a voice, to totally new generations.
That's absolutely true. He started with the Beatles films, of course, A Hard Day's Night, Help, where his natural comedy really came through.
Yeah, he was great in those.
Then he did all sorts of other films, Candy in '68, that psychedelic satire, The Magic Christian in '69 with Peter Sellers, where he actually had the lead role, Young Man Grand, got good reviews for his deadpan style.
I remember that one.
Then Son of Dracula in '74, kind of a musical horror thing. And later, Caveman in 1981.
Ah, Caveman. That was significant for him personally, wasn't it?
Hugely significant. That's where he met his future wife, Barbara Bach.
Right. But it was the TV stuff, especially for kids, that really gave him this whole other life, almost.
Totally. Thomas and Friends. He narrated the first 2 series of the British show, from '84 to '86. His voice is just iconic for those stories.
Absolutely. So many people know his voice from that.
And then he brought it to America, playing Mr. Conductor on the PBS show Shining Time Station for its first season.
Mr. Conductor.
Connecting American kids to Thomas. Plus, he voiced the dad in The Point, that animated film by Harry Nilsson.
So kids might have known him as Mr. Conductor before they knew him as Beatle.
It's entirely possible. It just shows his incredible charm, his adaptability. His fame just kept evolving, reaching new audiences in different ways.
It's a different kind of immortality, isn't it? Being part of childhood like that. And he didn't stop performing music either. He found this really enduring way to keep touring, right up to today.
Yes. Ringo Starr and his all-star band. Such a brilliant concept, really. Since 1989, continuously.
And the lineup changes all the time.
Constantly. It's this revolving door of amazing, famous musicians. Just think, Bob Dylan played in it, Eric Clapton, Joe Walsh, Jeff Lynne, Todd Rundgren, Sheila E., Colin Hay from Men at Work, Steve Lukather from Toto. The list is incredible.
Wow. Proper legends.
Absolutely. And the shows are this great mix. Ringo does his solo hits, the Beatles classics everyone wants to hear.
Photograph Yellow Submarine.
Exactly, with a little help from my friends, of course. And then the other all-stars do their big hits, too.
So you might get Africa from Steve Lukather.
And Down Under from Colin Hay. Yeah, it keeps it fresh, it's collaborative, it lets Ringo keep playing live, which he clearly loves.
Still doing it now, in his 80s?
Still doing it, thrilling audiences, the energy's still there. It just shows his passion for performing, for connecting with fans, playing with other great musicians. It's really quite something. 4, the man behind the music. Broader impact and personal journey. So beyond the music, beyond the acting, there's another creative side to Ringo that maybe not everyone knows about. His photography.
Right, he's been taking pictures for ages, hasn't he?
Since the 60s, almost always had a camera with him. And his photos, they show this real kind of quirky fascination with all sorts of things.
Like what?
Oh, everyday objects, animals, candid shots of people, flowers, moments in time, and of course, lots of peace and love signs.
50 grand.
Yeah, totally. And remember his big hit, Photograph? That song is literally about the power of images. He just says his art, his photography, it keeps him entertained, keeps him creatively engaged.
It's another outlet, another way to see the world through his eyes, which must be pretty unique. Does he capture anything specific that really shows that unique style?
Well, one thing he's done is a whole series of photos of empty plates.
Empty plates?
Yeah, just capturing the patterns left behind after a meal. Finding something funny or abstract or even beautiful in something totally mundane.
That is a unique eye, seeing art in the everyday.
Exactly. It shows this thoughtful, visual side to him. But his impact isn't just artistic, is it? It's also deeply humanitarian.
Yeah, let's talk about that. His philanthropy, the Lotus Foundation he runs with Barbara, and that signature message, peace and love.
They've done and continue to do really significant work. The Lotus Foundation, it channels all the money from his artwork, his photos, his digital art to a whole range of causes.
What kind of causes?
It's incredibly broad, showing real compassion. Substance abuse programs, cerebral palsy research, brain tumor foundations, cancer support, helping battered women and children, tackling homelessness, animal welfare.
Wow, it's a wide range.
It really is.
Yeah.
It shows how he uses his success, his platform, for tangible good, turning fame into positive action.
And the peace and love message. He really owns that now, doesn't he?
He absolutely does. He always credits John Lennon with starting it within the band, but Ringo has carried that torch so consistently. It's central to his public persona, his tours.
He makes it feel relevant today.
He really tries. He says it drives him to connect the world with these words. He ends his shows shouting it. It's not just a slogan for him. It seems like a genuine guiding principle. He's become this real beacon for that message over decades, but, that public life, that level of fame, it hasn't always been easy.
No, I imagine not. Enduring that kind of spotlight for so long must bring huge challenges. Tell us a bit about his personal journey, overcoming struggles, dealing with that intense fame.
Well, the journey definitely had its major hurdles. Showed real courage, I think. He married Barbara Bach in '81 after meeting on Caveman, but by 1988, both of them were facing serious issues with substance abuse.
That must have been incredibly difficult under the spotlight.
Immense pressure, but they both sought rehab, confronted it head-on, and successfully got back on track, as he puts it, committed to sobriety.
And that led to other changes too, didn't it?
Yeah, they both became vegetarians around that time as well. It was a period of real transformation, self-improvement, and doing that publicly. It takes guts. It's inspiring, frankly.
Definitely. Yeah. But that level of fame, Beatlemania, it must shape how you interact with the world, with fans.
Oh, absolutely. And while Ringo's generally seen as this friendly, affable guy, he has faced some criticism over the years about fan interactions, especially around autographs.
Right. I've heard about that.
Some fans have found him maybe defensive. Some see it as a sort of byproduct of the Beatlemania days. He's talked about how intense it was being treated as gods, people literally snipping locks of his hair.
Wow. That's insane.
It is. And that kind of experience, for decades, it inevitably shapes your boundaries, how you manage public interaction. He became quite firm about not signing autographs everywhere.
Setting limits.
Exactly. But then you also hear from countless other fans who have wonderful interactions with him at shows, who find him warm and engaging. So it's complex.
It must be. Navigating that level of superstardom for, 60 years? It's
Right.
hard to even imagine. It highlights that tension between an artist's need for private space and the public's expectations.
A very difficult balance. Constantly. Enduring relevance. Why Ringo still matters.
So it's clear Ringo's journey is just immense. Evolution, resilience, using his platform for good. And crucially, he's not just a legacy act, is he? He's still making new music, staying relevant right now.
Not at all, just living in the past. He's incredibly prolific still, constantly putting out new music. He had those EPs recently, EP3 in 2022, Rewind Forward in 23, Crooked Boy just this year in 2024.
4 new tracks on that.
Yep. And he's got a full country and roots album, Look Up, planned for January 2025, coming full circle back to that early solo sound in a way.
That's great. And how does he record now?
He embraces technology, often records at home in his own studio. He said technology has been great for me, lets him work whenever he feels inspired.
Adapting. Still creating.
Exactly. Not resting on laurels, actively contributing, still a vibrant artist.
And his influence, it's not just historical, is it? Contemporary musicians still look up to him, even in this age of programmed beats.
Oh, his influence is definitely ongoing. Major figures today: Rick Rubin, the producer,
Legendary.
Steve Jordan, the drummer, Dave Grohl, even someone like Jeff Barrow from Portishead, known for electronic stuff. They all cite Ringo as a key influence.
Really? Why do you think that is?
Because his drumming is studied for its feel, its simplicity, its musicality. Rick Rubin praised his intuition, how he plays for the song, and it's always perfect. Dave Grohl loves his unique groove.
That less is more thing still resonates.
Absolutely. In an era often obsessed with technical perfection, maybe programmed perfection, Ringo's human feel, those little pushes and pulls, that personality, it stands out. It's a reminder that feel often matters more than complexity.
So there's a lesson there for musicians today.
Definitely. His whole career is kind of inspirational. Develop your own unique style. Serve the song first. Adapt to changes, but stay true to yourself. He shows that real impact isn't always about being the loudest or the flashiest. It's about feel, humility, and providing exactly what's needed.
What an incredible arc. From that kid in Liverpool with firewood sticks to a global icon.
Yeah.
His unique drumming, shaped by being left-handed on a righty kit, that less is more idea.
Groundbreaking.
His work in film, TV, photography, his decades promoting peace and love. It's an indelible mark. His journey is all about adaptability, resilience, connecting with people across generations. He's so much more than just the drummer.
He really is. And I think Ringo, maybe the most understated Beatle in some ways, actually teaches us something powerful. True impact isn't always about shouting the loudest or being the most complex.
Right.
It's about being authentic, knowing what you bring, finding that perfect, maybe subtle beat for the moment, and just consistently bringing rhythm, bringing joy through your art, through your actions.
So after this deep dive into Ringo's remarkable life and rhythm, maybe a final thought for you listening? What unique, essential beat do you bring to your own life's rhythm?
Something to think about.
Thanks for listening to All in All.